everyone, welcome back. I know it's been just quite a little while since I posted a video, but to be honest with you, there's not really been a lot going on, so I thought rather than bore you all with me just watering and picking stuff, I thought I'd leave it a couple of weeks. But I'm here today because I want to try and tidy it up a little bit. It's got a little bit messy again. I don't know how I managed to do it, but there's so many weeds to pull on one of the little areas, and I also want to tidy down the front because it's become a little bit of a dumping ground. I've also got with me these little takeaway pots, and I thought maybe I can start putting some of my seeds together and start organising them a little bit, because I've got a few that were left here as well, and it took so long to try and get the shed organised and tidied. I don't want it, and it's starting to build a little bit back up again, so I want to try and stop that before it gets out of control and it becomes a whole nother day's worth of work to do. So yeah, thought I'd bring you along on that, show you how everything's getting on. The pumpkins are doing amazing. I finally managed to get the pumpkins to start climbing the arch as well, so they're looking good. Kind of given up on the sweet corn, I won't lie, they're not looking good. And yeah, just things are coming along. I've picked quite a few bits, but a few things are starting to die. So, but we'll learn, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, thought I'd bring you along today. Please excuse my hair, the wind is doing wonders for the fringe. Probably not the best time to have one, as you can see. But I've just gone around giving everything a really good water, and then I'll take you around and show you kind of what's going on, what's living, what's dying. And then it'll give you a better idea of kind of what I'm up to today as well. It'll show you the beds that I want to tidy up, and the areas as well. And I'll show you the plum situation as well. And I'm wondering if anyone can give me any advice on what's the best way to do it. I've got an idea, but if anyone's already done it, that would be great. So I'll start with the baby boo pumpkins, and I'm just so pleased with how they're coming along. I finally managed to get them to start climbing. I actually planted this one the wrong way round, I think, and it started to come out over here. So if you've done the same, just let it get as long as possible, and then I've just clipped it up with one of these that was already here on the plot and was already attached to some of these to this arch, and I've managed to do that, and it's kind of starting to attach now, so fingers crossed. I have already picked one, and this is the other one. Kind of get an idea of the size. I can't actually see though any more coming up, so I'm hoping that's not the end of it. I might give it a feed today, like a tomato feed, and see how else. But from the other side it looks so colourful, and I just think they look really pretty, so even if it doesn't give me loads of pumpkins, I'm going to keep it that way. And then onto the other pumpkin patch. This one has gone so orange. I think something's been digging at them though, because it's on the one over there as well. I put some straw underneath it to try and stop it from rotting a little bit and being on the floor. Oh, I just noticed another one coming up here. Can you see that? So that should be good. It's so tiny, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, they're doing really well. I did cut them really far down, so I know a lot with pumpkin, they kind of go all the way out and they spread really far, but I wanted to get one really good pumpkin from each of them and one quite big one. I don't know how big it's going to get. I think this is kind of it now, but it's big enough, I think, enough to make a soup and freeze them. That's what I kind of really want them for. And then the one over here is starting to orange up as well. It's really green at the beginning of the week, so I'm quite pleased. But yeah, you can see where something's kind of pushed all the straw across. But the one in the middle is actually the baby boo. I wanted to try one on the ground rather than up the archway, but this is one of the bits as well. I want to try and started getting rid of some of these weeds. This is the section that I'm going to be working on today, because as you can see, it's just so overgrown. There's so much. This is a gooseberry tree that my father-in-law gave me, because he's got a plot a couple bits down. The potatoes have just suddenly stopped. They've got to this height and they've just stopped. They stayed green. It's not like they're dying. so I don't really know what to do with them. The courgettes have come back to life. I picked all of them and then that was it. Didn't see anything else. But now, yeah, and I've got a couple more here as well coming up. So hopefully it should just keep going. I think I'm going to stick with one next year, possibly two, I'm not sure yet, but I think one will be enough. We get so many from them, couldn't believe it. My sunflower, the poor thing, it's had a couple of days of no water and I think it's really taken its toll. I've just given it a really good feed now, so hopefully that will help. But yeah, going to try and get rid of all of these weeds today, all around here, because I think they are taking out some of the nutrients as well to go to the plants. So we'll see. The carrots are starting to come through the top. Someone actually said to me, if you don't water them, they go further down and you get longer, bigger carrots. Whereas if you water them, they don't have to try and search for water. So I've left them. They do look like they're getting a bit bigger right now actually though. And then my parsnips over here, but I think they're not going to be ready for quite a while yet. Now this is what I'm calling the disaster patch. So, as you can see, my neighbour's sweet corn is amazing. Mine, not so much. I've only got one that's kind of come up with this bit, but it's not even green. I've noticed that a lot of other people's are green still. Mine's more like wheat. So I have given it a water and I am still watering it because I don't want to give up hope yet, but I think it might be time to kind of give up a little bit on this. I do think it was because they weren't close enough together for the cross-pollination. So, but I don't really know too much. So I need to look into this a bit more for next year. I do want to grow them because it's the only thing that I really love to eat, but I don't buy too much of it because they always comes in plastic in the shops. So I need to look into that for next year. This sunflower, however, is doing really, really well. It's gone a little bit saggy, but I think the water I've given it today should help a lot. And then I'll just cross through into the polytunnel. There isn't a lot going on in here, but the melon is going crazy. I do need to weed in here as well today. It's one of the jobs. But yeah, you can see it's got absolutely huge. It was just kind of a test run to see how they grow, and it's growing really well. So the loofah didn't do as well. So I need to look a little bit more into that for next year and actually do a lot more research on it and how it grows and things. So we'll see. But I do want to get the rest of this ready because it is getting a little bit overgrown. Also, someone gave us a custard apple and inside obviously the seeds, and I started to try and see if they would sprout, and they are coming along actually. So and I know they need a really hot climate, so I'm going to try and get them going and then pop them in here. I might do them in a separate pot though, just so they're on their own, and if I do need to move them out it won't be such an issue. But then if it does start growing and it looks like this is the kind of climatization it needs, then I can just put it into the ground. It should be fine. I'll pop it into a corner somewhere. But haven't made the most of the polytunnel that I thought I would at this point in time. I do need to get a little bit more in here. We're not really fans of tomatoes, so I haven't done tomatoes this year, but I might try and get some of the sweeter varieties and plant a couple of those for next year and see how it goes, because it's so much bigger in here than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I thought it was going to be so much smaller, or so much smaller growing space. Sorry, it's really windy. But yeah, that's the plan for next year with tomatoes, is just get some of the really small cherry tomatoes as well. So it's actually been a few hours since I last picked up, but my neighbours were here and I don't really like to film when people are right next to us, and they had the strimmer out anyway, so you wouldn't have been able to hear anything. But I've only really just been weeding, to be honest with you, and just clearing stuff. So unless you just wanted to watch me weed, you didn't really mess too much. I did, however, clear the back area because it was starting to look really messy, and I just want to start kind of getting an idea of the layout and space that I've got here. So kind of pushed everything to the back, and now at least as well I can show you kind of the plum tree situation. So I'll show you the area first. So I've just cleared everything back, pushed it right up against the fence, and now look how much more room there is. So I can kind of get an idea of what the seating area is. It looks so much bigger already. I didn't think there was that much space, but thankfully there is. I'm just trying to dry out some of these pots before I put them back in the shed. But so we've got this Damson plum tree, and it actually grows along the back of the fence, along the railway lines. However, and as nice as it is a bit of a pain in the bum. So I can't get the plums quick enough before they fall off. I've actually picked up a whole pot of them already, and they're absolutely gorgeous, but I just can't fit any more in the fridge. I'll cut it back a little bit, and the idea is, what I'm going to do, make sure I don't fall, is get a bit of netting that goes from like here over, and then kind of try and get it to come down the side and get one of those like side planter pots that go along here. And then what I can do is get the netting that goes kind of up to here, and then they all just fall in, and at least they don't fall on the floor. The thing is, because I'm not here every day, I don't want to pick them up from the floor just in case something's already started eating at them or anything like that. I kind of don't really know how long they've been sat there for, so I try not to. There are loads of in the freezer already I'm going to make some gin with, and I've got some in the fridge. I'm going to hopefully make some jam as well, but I don't know whether to cut it back a bit more or just build the netting over. So if you have done a netting before, I'd love to hear how you did it in the comments, or if you've got a video, pop your link in there as well, and I'll have a little watch of that. But so far it's coming along really well. I'll give you a kind of show you what I've already done while I was off camera. So the main one was this. You remember what it was like before. So I've just cleared all the weeds out as much as I can. I pulled up the little mini greenhouse because there was nothing actually under there. It was just weeds where I was growing little seedlings where I'd run out of room in the house. So yes, I've just cleared all this. I've cleared the little raised bed as well, and there's quite a lot of room in there, so I might try and grow a couple more bits. I'll give it a good water as well, try and get the soil nice and moist. But they're the parsnips you can probably see now, and the carrots. I'm going to leave the carrots for a little bit longer, I think, but we'll see how it goes. And then I just cleared a bit more from here as well, as much as I possibly could. Big red ants nest down at the bottom here, so I kind of stopped it a bit and let them just settle, but it looks a little bit clearer already, and this is it all cleared. That is all that green is just from today, so I feel like I've made a really good start with it. It is really windy here, so I think what I might do is take all my seeds home with me, and organise them at home in those little Tupperware boxes, because obviously the packets are really light and there isn't enough room to sit and do it properly in the shed. But I feel like it's been a really productive day. I feel like things have gone a little bit better than I thought they would. So I'm going to leave the sweet corn for now and just let it do its thing, and then see how we go from there. But I'll pick up with you when I'm back home and show you kind of the idea of what I'm doing with the boxes as well. If I do leave, I just want to show you this that I picked up from Crocus, I think it was. I'll let them blow anyway, but I want to try and stop using the plastic ones because they are really, really flimsy, and they start to crack after like a couple of uses of them, and it's just not sustainable really. I want to try and get rid of as much plastic from this plot as possible. So I picked this up. I think it was only about £35 in the sale, which I was really impressed with. But they literally just come like this, and they've got holes at the bottom, and you can just put them in there, fill it with water as well. But I just thought it was really brilliant. Yeah, I'm going to give that a try. So I'm going to leave it here, which is why I just wanted to quickly show you that. But yeah, I'll see you at home and show you kind of what I'm doing with seeds. So Robbie is in the picture, if you can see him. but he just wants to be involved and I can't say no. So yeah, so what I've got is I've got all of the seeds that I've got from the allotment, things that I've ordered. I've also got loads in here that I kind of want to get organised. They're kind of all just sitting at the moment in random places. I don't really know where anything is, so I'm going to get everything out, and then oh, there's my tournament. Okay, so I've got everything here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organise them into, and see what I've got first of all, and then organise them into sections. I've only got 3, so it might be that some of them do have to stay in one of the envelopes, which is why I've kept this. So let me start organising first, and then I'll kind of tell you what kind of sections I'm going to put them in. One of the reasons I highly recommend that you don't take them out of the packets they come in, I've now got one that I've got no idea what it's for. I've got a funny feeling it's the spinach, because this is empty actually, so yeah, I think it is for that. We're going to go with spinach. Perfect, so I think that's everything out now. So what I'll do is, I think now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into sections. So I'll keep flowers completely separate because they are their own thing. So let me do that. These are all the flowers here. I can run through actually some of the seeds I've got. So we've got Californian poppy, some bee seeds, kind of wildflower, some forget-me-nots, chamomile, lavender, and some normal Flanders poppies. I really like them. I can't wait to get them going. So fingers crossed they'll actually fit. So they can go in their own tub. I might switch that one over actually because that's the biggest of them all. So, and then what I'll do is I'll put the rest into herbs, and then yeah, so I do herbs and then I'll do kind of full-on growing things. So let's get on with that. Knock at the door. Yeah, so what I'll do is now I'll put them all into kind of edibles, and then, well, not edibles, but like big things, and then herbs, and I might put the salads in with the herbs as well. So then I also do need to just figure out what to do with the loofah. So I think what I might do is put them in with the flowers, because they're not actually food. So, well, you probably can eat loofahs, but that's kind of not the reason I wanted to grow them. So I'll put them in with the flowers. And then all that's left to figure out what to do is I've actually got these seeds which we got from Room for Dessert when we went to Bali, and I've kept them until we've managed to get somewhere that we can keep them permanent, because I really don't want to waste them and ruin them. They're actually called Rosella. And I need to figure out the best way and kind of do a little bit of research on how is best to grow them. So I'll have a little look into those, but I'm going to pop them in with the flowers for now because I'm not quite sure whether they're edible or not. So I'm going to pop them in there. And then all that's left is the orange too, because they're in such a big packet that I'll kind of just leave them out as they are. But then yeah, so that's kind of just what I really wanted to get done today. And as you can see, it just makes it a lot neater, and I can then put all of those onto a shelf in the plot, in the shed, and it'll just be easier to keep them like maintained and a little bit more organised. So yeah, thank you so much for watching for today. I'm going to end it there, but have a lovely weekend, whatever you're up to. Enjoy the weather, and if you're down at the plot, let me know if you've got an Instagram or a YouTube page, because I'd love to follow you as well. But yeah, have a lovely weekend. Take care. Bye.